Welcome to I Wrote This News. Today is January 31st, 2022. Here's what we could scrape off the griddle and serve up for you today. Story number 1, Mon back. Okay, stop, that's good. While mapping radio waves across the universe, astronomers happened upon a celestial object releasing giant bursts of energy. And it's unlike anything they've ever seen before. The object, detected in March 2018, beeped out radiation more quickly than any other object they'd ever detected. In those moments, it became the loudest source of radio waves viewable from Earth, acting like a celestial lighthouse. Astronomers think it might be a remnant of a collapsed star, either a dense neutron star or a dead white dwarf star, with a strong magnetic field, or it could be something else entirely. Our theory: it's an alien space truck. Story number 2, on rumors he's pulling out of Spotify. Barry Manilow sings Nope-a-cabana. Aging soft popper Barry Manilow has shut down rumors that he is pulling his music catalog from Spotify following the high-profile departures of Neil Young and Joni Mitchell from the streaming platform earlier this week. Manilow, who wrote a number of songs that go in one ear and then just stay there as long as they like, including the self-confession, "I write the songs," said, "I recently heard a rumor about me in Spotify. I don't know where it started, but it didn't start with me or anyone who represents me." Speculation that the Copacabana singer was taking his music off of Spotify began circulating on social media earlier in the week, when Twitter users including Deborah Messing said that Manilow was following Young and protesting Spotify's handling of misinformation coming from Joe Rogan's podcast, The Joe Rogan Experience. In rejecting the rumor, Manilow went on to say that, quote, "Music for cashin' was always my fashion." Story number 3, Spotify sees both sides now of its mouth. After musicians Neil Young, Joni Mitchell, and Nils Lofgren pulled their music, Spotify has decided to come around. Sorta. Spotify broke its silence on Sunday and announced changes to its policies around content concerning COVID-19, after facing a week of criticism for allowing its creators, particularly podcaster Joe Rogan, to spread misinformation about the pandemic. Spotify's groundbreaking, earth-shattering, yawn-inducing changes include: 1. Publicly publishing the company's internal rules for what is allowed on the platform. 2. Testing ways to highlight those rules to its creators. And 3. Working to add a content advisory to any podcast episode that includes a discussion about COVID-19. In other words, they're going to write a blog post, figure out how to get creators to read it, and add a hashtag. Spotify's internal rules include disallowing content that promotes dangerous, false, or deceptive medical information that may cause offline harm or poses a direct threat to public health, such as asserting that COVID-19 is a hoax or promoting or suggesting that vaccines approved by local health authorities are designed to cause death. Ironically, Rogan has inoculated himself from criticism by arguing that he knows nothing, so he can't tell anyone anything. "I'm not a respected source of information, even for me," he said. Story number 4, careful where you point that thing, you might be loaded. Donald Trump said on Saturday that if elected to a new term as president, he would consider pardoning those prosecuted for attacking the United States Capitol on January 6 last year. At least 700 people have been arrested in connection with that riot, including 11 who have been charged with seditious conspiracy. Some have said they believe they were doing Mr. Trump's bidding. The former president and full-time Fantasyland resident also called on his supporters to mount large protests in Atlanta and New York if prosecutors in those cities, who are investigating him and his businesses, took action against him. Trump always said he could count on his loyal followers.
My people are so smart. And you know what else they say about my people? The polls. They say, I have the most loyal people. Did you ever see that? Where I could stand in the middle of Fifth Avenue and shoot somebody and I wouldn't lose any voters, okay? It's like incredible.
Now it's time for On This Date in History. On this date in 1949, the first television daytime soap opera is broadcast by the NBC station in Chicago. The show is called These Are My Children. On this date in 1958, the first successful American satellite detects the Van Allen radiation belt. It will be several years until a different satellite detects the Van Allen radiation suspenders. On this date in 1988, Doug Williams becomes the first African-American quarterback to play in a Super Bowl and leads the Washington Redskins to victory in Super Bowl 22. Celebrating birthdays today are politician Dick Gephardt, baseball player Nolan Ryan, swimmer Shirley Babashoff, actresses Kelly Lynch, Minnie Driver, and Kerry Washington, radio host Peter Sagal, singer phenom Justin Timberlake, Latvian ice hockey player Janis Sprux, and co-inventor of the implantable defibrillator, Morton Mower, who is turning 99. Happy birthday to all of them, and if your birthday is today, a very happy birthday to you as well. By the way, if you or someone you know is having a birthday and would like us to announce it on the show, leave us a voice message or send an email. The links are in the show notes. Today's news was brought to us by CNN, The Hollywood Reporter, the New York Times, and the only website that I have on speed dial, Wikipedia. If you have a comment or a question about anything you've heard today, or if you have a suggestion, please send us a note at I wrote this news, all one word, at thatradioshow.com. That email address one more time is I wrote this news, all one word, at thatradioshow.com.
One more thing, if this podcast sounds a little funny, that's because it's also an experiment. All of the vocals were generated using AI technology. Hopefully the show will sound different and better as the tech improves and as we improve at using it. I'm Bob Meese, hoping you have an amazing day. We'll get together again soon.